What is going on, everybody? My name is Dakota, and welcome back to Coda's Cologne. And today we're going to be breaking down and looking at and reviewing the new Smoking Hot by Kilian. This fragrance was released just a couple months ago. I was just able to get my hands on it recently. And one thing that you're going to notice rather quickly about this bottle is it has a special little note right there engraved on it. And that's going to be a funny story, but that's going to be here in a little bit. So for now, let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is the things that we always love to do, and we're going to show off the atomizer on this. And this has a wonderful atomizer. This is also a beautiful scent. This is top tier, top quality. Kilian is a niche brand, and got a little in my mouth there. Kilian is a niche brand, and they are very good. They are all, to me, they're one of the few brands that tend to be worth the price in the niche world. All right, now that we did that, we're gonna go ahead and put a spray on the arm there. And as soon as you spray this, you are immediately felt with a crisp apple. Odd as it is, even though this is kind of a darker, richer fragrances, like this has tobacco and other things in it as well. But the apple note, when you first spray this, it is very crisp. It is very clean. The way this thing changes and for how sweet it is, to have such a smooth, crisp apple note on top that you can pick up immediately, to me, is awesome. And normally this is the portion where I like to show off the bottle, and I'm going to go ahead and get it on this just a little bit. You'll notice this bottle has something engraved on it. The engraving actually came because I bought this on some of the Facebook groups that I've mentioned several times on the channel. And I'll go ahead and get into this. This bottle can be had for about $2.20 out of those fragrance groups. But as I've said before, you got to be careful about what you buy. And the reason I said that is when I saw this bottle, I was like, ooh, I want that. That's a good deal. I'm going to buy that. The thing I didn't notice is whoever bought this had it engraved, and it says Love Kerr, K-E-R. I'm assuming that says Love Kerr. So yeah, I didn't notice that when I bought it. It was a special nice treat for me when I opened it, when I got it. So whoever Kerr is, just know that I love you too. But with that being said, that's the cute little story of that on the front. I'm gonna go ahead and get this spinning up, and we're gonna go over some of the notes, and I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, as we get this beautiful bottle spinning up, we're gonna dive straight into these notes. The top notes on this are gonna be green apple, cinnamon, and smoke. And when you first spray this, for how many darker notes it's in this, it's pretty wild to me how they were able to pull off such a realistic, crisp green apple note. And it's only as soon as you spray it. It does keep a crisp apple through the dry down. The middle notes on this are going to be tobacco and moss. And the tobacco, even though it's a middle note, I feel like it should be as a base note, because it takes a little bit for that tobacco to come through. Like, you get little hints of it within the first 5 to 10 minutes, but it really comes on strong around that 20-minute range. And the base notes on this are going to be the sweet bourbon vanilla, and I'm going to butcher this word, but I think it's pronounced Orkanox. The smoke that's on the top note on this, the way it pulls all the way through into the base notes, to me, does such a beautiful job of giving you a sweet, smoky bourbon vanilla mixed with like a green apple and tobacco. But the way this thing is blended up, to me, is top tier, top quality. But I'm gonna get this wrapped up. I'm gonna get y'all flipped back around, and we'll see you in a second. Alrighty, so we gave this a little bit of time to dry down, as we like to do. This is a beautifully blended fragrance. There's so many layers to this, and you get so many different whiffs and wafts of scents as you're wearing this. When you first spray this, you're hit with a beautiful crisp apple. It's like a smoky cinnamon apple when you first spray it. As it dries down, some of the tobacco starts to show through a little bit. And when it starts to work its way even further, you end up with like a smoky, bourbon, tobacco-y type of vibe to it. It still has like a little bit of a crispness to it, even as it dries down. And whenever you're at the base of this, whenever you're wearing it about an hour in and you're all the way dried down, the bourbon vanilla, even though it's like a smoky vanilla, the smokiness and some of that crispness between the moss and the green apple all kind of work together very, very well. And you end up with like a fresh smoked, crisp tobacco vanilla type thing. I know it's not probably the best way to describe it, but that's the best way I can, because there's a freshness, there's a crispness, but everything has like a smoky hint to it. And even on the dry down, it's like a crisp smoked vanilla. And to me, it is a beautiful fragrance. I really am starting to love this fragrance a little bit. The first time I wore this, I was like, it's good, but I don't know that it's great. I wore it a second time. I was like, okay, this is getting pretty good. And then now it's to the point to where I'm really starting to love this fragrance because just the way this thing is blended, the way this thing kind of changes and it's definitely a different scent. There's not really too much out there that smells just like this. One thing that would be kind of close to me is if you're a big fan of Kilian, imagine something like the sweetness of Angel Share, but smoked up with a little more of a crisp, fresh twist. And to me, that's kind of what I get out of this. And I really like that because I really like Angel Share. All right, so this is the portion we're going to go ahead and get into the price and availability of it. I'm going to start with pricing because I already touched on that. Like I said, the best bet, the best way to get this is probably going to be on some of those Facebook groups with trusted sellers, such things as that. You can get these for about $200 to $220 on the Facebook groups. If you buy this new from Kilian, this is going to run you about $290 plus tax. I don't know about shipping. I don't know if they charge shipping or not. And discounters wise, I don't know that any have them. As of right now, the day that I'm recording this, Nordstrom has it, I think, for $255. And if you want to get it from like an authentic site, that's probably the best price that you'll be able to have that. I know I've said in the past that normally Costco carries a handful of Kilian's fragrances. I don't know if they're going to get this one or not. But if they do, Costco or the Facebook groups are probably going to be the best pricing. The performance on this for a Kilian, because the biggest complaint I've always had with Kilian fragrances is they always smell so good. They always smell so beautiful. Angel Share, Apple Brandy, Straight to Heaven, stuff like that. They always smell so good, but the performance always seems to lack. This one might be one of their better performing fragrances just in general. So on my skin, I got about 7 hours out of this, and without overspraying, that's probably the best I've gotten out of a Kilian. The sillage on this is actually very good as well. The sillage on this is in the 2 to 3 foot range, and I don't know if it's due to the note breakdown. I don't know if it's due to the way it was blended or what, but whatever they did to this one for the sillage, projection, performance, and everything, it worked very well because even the projection on this, it does set a little bit close to the skin, but the slightest bit of movement just it almost throws the scent out. The scent wants to be thrown around. For the price of this, do I wish that it would still last longer? Yeah, about 7 hours. That's good. Like, don't get me wrong. That's rock solid performance. But for a 50 ml bottle, once you hit that 250 plus range, I kind of want that to be the whole package. I want that to be nonstop in your face. I kind of want it to be loud. I want it, I want some rawness to it. And this checks every single box except, about 7 hours is the most I was able to get out of that. And that was in that 7 spray range. I didn't refresh this one. If I refreshed it, maybe might be able to get that 8-9 hour range. But with a refresh though, that'll probably get me closer to 10 sprays. And at that point, it's like cost per spray, and it's beautiful smell. Again, I cannot take that away from them. Absolutely beautiful smell. The blend on this is amazing. The quality on this is amazing. This bottle, the detail that they went into on this bottle, and the fact that they'll let you engrave this. I don't know if this came from Kilian that way or if they took it out and had it done. But if it came from Kilian that way, that's cool too. But this bottle is clean. The presentation is beautiful. Everything about this screams top quality. It's just for that top quality price, I wish it had a little bit more of a lasting power to it. And again, 7 hours, rock solid. But if you're buying this from Kilian and you're spending $300 on it, I kind of want a little more than that. And that's why if I was to rate this fragrance, I'm going to give it a 9.5. I'm going to give it 9.5 because if it would just stay a little bit longer, and maybe, I'm not a big one to spray on my clothes. Maybe that's my big downfall is I don't like to spray my clothes. I like to spray on skin. And like, I don't mind kind of putting a little bit in my beard way back here. That way it doesn't just smother my face. I mean, other than that, that's the only complaint I have. Like I said, scent profile, 10 out of 10. The way this thing was blended, the way this thing dries down, everything about this is a 10 except for longevity. But that's kind of the same issue that I've tended to have with Kilian pretty much from the get. If you're someone who does love tobacco fragrances, but also loves like a smoky sweetness, give this one a try. Can I say this is worth it for $300? That one's tough to say. I don't know that I would go $300 on one. $220 for this? That's actually a pretty good price for the scent quality that you get, for the profile that you get, for the presentation you get. The scent profile on this, genuine 10 out of 10. It is beautiful. I would not change a single thing about this profile. This is definitely going to be a winter fragrance. This would definitely be a date fragrance. This could potentially go so far as to be a signature fragrance. And honestly, if you only spray a few sprays, like because this is a date fragrance, this might be more of like an up close, like intimate style fragrance, which that's not bad either. Every fragrance kind of has their place between, you know, longevity, projection, see all stuff like that. I kind of, with the way my collection's set up, I kind of love having one that's kind of for every single situation you could be in. I don't mind when fragrances don't last long, but for this price, I want them to. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get in on this bottle one more time. Kilian Smoking Hot. Like I said, this presentation is very good. This is nice. There's no way about it. This is a good presentation. The atomizer is good. Everything about this just screams top. So yeah, I think that is going to wrap us up for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you everyone for staying tuned in, for the likes, the comments, the subscribes. I truly appreciate that. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more stuff, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Can't hurt. It's free. But that is going to wrap us up. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you next time.